Hello? Does this thing work? Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. You're very welcome back to another live stream with me, your man who has befallen a terrible curse, an ailment, if you will, of the dreaded man flu. But we're feeling a bit better today. The last 48 hours have been fairly right, but we think we're over the worst of it now. So, well, you're very all welcome in. Hope you're keeping very well. Hope you had a great weekend. I missed you something fierce yesterday. And, well, today, friends, we continue on a day late with our Monday night series, which a very special thanks to Jeppesen 2001, as we kind of chase and, you know, reimagine, if you like, the ancient world wonders from that time, right? So, just putting a warning out, you know, I could be, well, I'm in a hoop, right? So that means I'm liable to do stupid things, even more so than what you're probably used to me doing, with different angles and things and stuff that I can even move around in my room. And this, right? So, I mean, you just wouldn't know what's going to happen, right? But yes, the man flu, I've been taken care of by the lovely Mrs. Two-Tone. She's been minding me. I've just realised my door is closed and I'm already roasting. But yes, let that not stop us. What we're going to do for tonight, friends, well, we're going to take to the skies in the Canadair de Havilland, the CL-415, an amphibious aircraft designed primarily for aerial firefighting, but also capable of so much more, including search and rescue operations, utility transport. But today, it's going to serve us as we embark on the historical journey to one of the 7 world wonders of the ancient world, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. That's how we pronounce it. I've double checked it. We're going to begin our journey down here at a place called Denizli Çardak Airport, Lima Tango Alpha Yankee. It's nestled in the mountain regions of western Turkey, and from here we're going to set course out towards the Aegean coast as we make our first stop over at a place I just can't pronounce. It's the Selçuk-Efes Airport, Lima Tango Bravo Victor. Next up, we're going to go to a waypoint. It's all jargon, but if you put it into your Navigraph, it should follow you, or in fact, just, Jesus, we've aircraft flying, or just download the flight plan, which is over in our Discord. That'll take us to the sites of where the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus actually stood. It's now located in the modern day Bodrum in Turkey. So after we explore the iconic wonder, we're going to head out then to Dalaman Airport, Lima Tango Bravo Sierra, for a full stop landing. That is the plan for this evening, and let's see what, happens. The aircraft for flying, this was a pre-order bonus given to us by Microsoft and Asobo if you were to pre-order the upcoming Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. And I have to say, for an aircraft that's used in a lot of its trailers, water bombing and all this sort of jazz, well, friends, we'll find out exactly what this aircraft is capable of doing in Flight Sim 2020. I've encountered a couple of issues. It may be just unique to me because, well, you know what I'm like. But we'll have to check it out and see how it behaves, right? Why am I so big, says Stephen the Sparky. What are you talking about, sir? I'm a grand, big, strong, strapping Irish fella. I need to open that door, lads. Jesus. Just talk amongst yourselves there for about 11 seconds. Right, so I might have a couple of coughs and out, kind of splutters and all that, but you know what I mean? It'll be grand.
10-4, good buddy.
I'm after breaking that. Subject lost. So I was here earlier on trying to keep myself busy. There's only so much lying down you can actually do. There's only so much lying down you can do. And between lemsips and, uni flu and whatever else the devil has, that's all we can do. Do you know what I mean? But that's kind of the crack of it. And that's, as I said, look, I set up this other camera just to see, hopefully it looks all right and you can see. This is my den, by the way, the den of iniquity, the man cave. And I have things all over the shop. You rarely see this.
Hello there.
Oh, Jesus, can we see the shelf of many things? We can a little bit, look, because the camera turns. That's where I sit. And then I face all of this kind of stuff here in front of me. I'd be sitting here, you see, with all the stuff. Very, isn't it? Very, it's a great view into the, the stuff. Where am I looking? I'm over here again. All right, I need lights over these. But anyway, we're going to fly this one tonight. We have a route there in Navigraph as well, just to see how it all turns out. But listen, before we go any further, it's time to say hello and good evening to some people. And if I hit a brick wall, I'll tell you, and then we'll have to, wrap it all up and go at it again some other night. But at the moment, I'm feeling okay. Lemsip and stuff is doing the job. So Fierce Wolf is here, good to see you. Argyle is in the house. Super Typhon, welcome in. Willow, how much? Welcome aboard. Spitfire RAF 100 is here. I got my voice back earlier on, or even yesterday. My voice was down here somewhere. Now, Mr. Two-Tone feckin' loved it, right? Do you know, like, Would you mind terribly? Right, and she loves it. She's like, you don't sound like a young one anymore. I was like, what? What?
What? 10-4, good buddy.
That's what I have to put up with, lads. So when your voice is down low, I need to do all my recordings, mailbox. I'm unable to come to the phone right now. Or, I knew you'd ring me. Right, we'd have a bit of crack with that. I'm more than Freeman. We can have a lot of crack with that. But anyway, Larry is here. Good to see you. Viper Strike, welcome aboard. Mr. Skoo is here. Squawk Torque, 40 months. Thank you very, very much indeed, my guy. Hope you're keeping very well. Malton Streams is here. Hello from Spain. No trucking tonight. No, I had to cancel last night. And now here we are now tonight. Right?
Hello
so,
there.
Yeah, if you're expecting trucking, well, you can go trucking, but we're flying. We're flying tonight. Yes. Right, who else is here? Look, Jesus, Flight Plan Fan, you're very welcome in. P.S. Mirandai, hello there. Who else is here? Dr. Diggler, welcome in. Any relation to Dirk? Ozymandias, welcome aboard. Mugati is here. He says, good evening, and to the back of your head. What? Daddy Plump, welcome aboard. We're managing, we're getting through it. Night Zeb, very good evening to you. SK Son is here. Sir Camsalot, Madude, 19 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. You're looking well. Commander Balosh is here. 3 months. Good evening. Thank you very much indeed for the 3 months. Now let me see. Gibbo Ireland is here. He goes, hey, happy Murph, happy Tuesday. Jesus, imagine stew like. I mean, even the missus said to me earlier on, would you not eat a stew? I'll make you a stew. No. There's only one type of liquidy food I can eat, and it's called coddle, right? It's an Irish dish, coddle. Boiled things, and it's all soupy, and that's nice. But as far as stew goes, no, it's just not going to work, lads. Little Trader, welcome in. Almost halfway through the week, right? Kozaki Flyer, welcome aboard. Feeling a little bit better, yes. I hate cancelling streams. Like, it's one of those things I absolutely despise. I hate it with a passion. And I wasn't able to stream last night, not a hope. And even during the day, yes, I was like, nah, I'll be all right. No. I got like an hour sleep last night. Oh. But anyway, all is well in the realm. Right, over here, Lead Ballooner, good to see you. Orange Juice. Good man. Orange Juice Jones. I could do with some orange juice, actually. Welcome in. Victorious, good evening. Elf is here. Captain Gaiman, welcome aboard. On your day off again. Adam Controls is here. How's the patient? Aria, listen, fair to middling, Adam. It's great to see you, though, man. Hope you're well. 6 Knots is here. Stew Smoothie must have worked. Oh, a stew smoothie, though. Jesus. Good to see you, Kieran. Bellbro, welcome aboard. I'm going to have to do this a lot. Yes, you have to press the button first. Imagine if I muted everything else but the cough. That would have been hilarious. Echo Charlie, welcome aboard. Belbro says, Murph and Fireflies, good evening. The sim was all shagged up, so reinstalled it just 1 month before S24 day. Jesus. Right? Yeah, it's we're so close to 2024 now, it's kind of hard to justify really anything in the sim in terms of updates or whatever else, Echo Charlie's here, because speaking of which, before we even address, what in the name of Jesus were they doing? Aerosoft, A330. Like, there's people now saying, Jesus, Captain Sim has some competition. What happened there? Right, I mean, okay, they're going to release an aircraft that isn't study level sim. In fact, it's quite a basic aircraft. What do you mean by basic? Well, it'll fly from A to B, but don't expect it to do much, and WASM will break, and, well, the autopilot doesn't work. What are your thoughts on all this? We'll chat about this more tomorrow, but what? Do you know? Like, what? First they told us it's going to be, like, the best thing we've ever seen since, sliced pan. Then they told us we weren't going to get it until 2024. Then out of nowhere, yeah, we're going to release it on Monday or Tuesday, whatever day it was. Oh, no, Monday. Makes no sense. What is happening in the world today? What is happening in the world today? So I smell cash grab. Mr. Zed Ryder is here. Good to see you. 43 months, man. Thank you very, very much indeed. Who else is here? Elf says, speaking of Greek mythology, absolutely love the Chaos Netflix show. Only to find the buggers have cancelled it after 1 season. I hate when they do that. Cyrus T is in the house. Good to see you, my dude. The man of teal. You're very welcome aboard. Viper Strike has watched 40 streams in a row. Thank you very much indeed, Viper. Great to see you, man. I got your DM. I wasn't well, but we'll get back to it soon. Sterling is in the house. Great day to fly to Asia Minor. Indeed it is. The forgetful Larry, well, Jesus, Murph, how are you doing? He says, after subscribing for 4 months. Larry, thank you very, very much indeed. Some crack, Larry, watching you in your virtual high-vis vest running around farming the other night. Hilarious, do you know? Purple Kona, good to see you. Tima is here. Flying Trits, a very good evening. Is the bot being nasty? I couldn't tell you. You know what the bots are like. Toto, good to see you. Angry Lou, welcome in. Feeling a bit better, thank you. Stick Figures here. Pad, good evening. Literally just off a flight to Dublin and straight onto the sim for a virtual flight. AJH, absolutely. That's how you do it. Where's this now? Nutty Slack, is it still Monday? Kinda. Ask your mate in Port Arlington. Muse Fan is here, bursting in the door with his kneecap. He says, how he is, his mad jokes is. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in, Muse. Hope you're well. Arva44 is here, 12 months, an entire year. Thank you very, very much indeed for all your support, Arva. You're looking well. You're looking well. He's reading off a teleprompter, isn't he? You can't fool me. Didn't just fall off the turnip wagon. Listen, right, yeah, I am, but I make it look like I am, and so that stands for something. Do you know? I am completely reading off a teleprompter. Can that camera pick it up, I wonder?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
I'd have to move this way for you to see it, and then I'd break it. So, to be honest, let's just leave it. Do you know? Krabby1, welcome in. But yeah, Stephen the Sparky, why am I so big? You'd have to be more specific. It can fly left. It can fly left. The aircraft, it's a great aircraft for flying left. Abnormal C, 34 months. Thank you very, very much indeed. Great to see you. Right, we're over here. Zith is here. There is Twittage tonight. Twittage. Wait, what? You calling me a twit? Do you remember the twits? Squawk Torque says this thing really do 180 knots. Not really. All alarms go off. We'll figure out now. Thank you for the follow, PWQ. Very kind of you. And let me see here now. Skoda. Bob is saying hi. Hi, Bob. Where is this now? Adam Control says, I got one of those funky tracking cameras as well. They're fun. They are. Well, I had this a while. And I was just sitting on my desk doing nothing. So I said, do you know what? Stick it into the gadget and see what happens. And sure, you're right. You know, it's, well, you want to see how I have it attached. So I have this gadget for the bag. Jesus. I have this gadget for the bag, right? And it puts the camera sitting into the bag and you plug all your, anyway, all I'm saying is it's wrapped around a light pole, right? A light pole, with something that goes on a bag. And it seems to work. And it follows me. Which is outrageous, you know, the things we can do today with modern technology. All I'm trying to get it to do is for you guys to be able to control it. I haven't figured that one out yet. You know the way you can kind of zoom into me face and all that. Yeah, we haven't gone that far yet. Modern technology, but like, imagine if you could press a button and it did this. We'd have a bit of crack with it. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, where is this now? Stockholm Skies are very welcome in. Care85 is here. Tarnished Mossman, welcome aboard. PWQ, I identify as Bob. Bob? Welcome in, Bob. Great to see you. You look like a Bob. DeBlaze is here. You can set commands to make chat control it. But that would be interesting. I don't know, Adam, can you? I tried it. It doesn't work. Onboard Simulations is here. DCS Ducks, welcome aboard. Lord Freet has subscribed with Prime. Thank you very, very much indeed. I hope you're well. Ladies and gentlemen, Lord Freet has created some incredible add-ons for Microsoft Flight Sim. Can't wait to see what you do in 24, man. Can't wait. Right, Morgan Freeman Murph. Oh no, Morgan Freemurph. Morgan Freemurph. That works. I got my Euro truck all mapped out with my Alpha. Jesus, Captain Gaiman. The Router is here. Welcome aboard. Who else? Mr. Zed Rider. WB1990. Get a hot whiskey into you. I'm telling you, they're on the way. They're on the way. The Slick One. Good to see you. Holy Zoinks is here. Bob is smart. He drank so many vodka, he got smart. Okay. The CL-415 has the Asobo LOD issue. It does. It's shocking bad as well. But anyway, where's this now? F's Turkish beer for tonight, seeing as you're flying into F's as well. And not a single F given. Did you see what it did there? Hilarious. It's all live. That was a Boogie Nights reference. Dirk Diggler. Yes, it was. Do you remember? Do you remember Dirk Diggler? Jesus. Muse. Yeah. I just see what you did there, Muse. Yeah, I agree. Pot it. A hot toddy will fix you right up. Tea with whiskey and honey. Tea with whiskey. Jesus. B. Carlo was here. He goes, he finally got the tree off his house. Brilliant. Turkey. Nice. I lived there for 7 years. Flown into there maybe 50 times in real life. Fly there in the sim all of the time. I'll have to put together a turkey tour for the fire. Oh, that'd be awesome, B. Carlo. Yes. Congratulations on the tree off your house. And, yeah, dude, I'd love that. A tour of Turkey. You can do a scavenger hunt this year. Yes. Captain Cheese Pants, Irish Jew, denied. It's not, Jesus, it's not all that cracked up. Eamon says, it looks like The flying the bejesus out of the Aerosoft A330 made the Murph flying a lot better. Oh no, feel a lot brighter. Listen, I don't know. Daz Higgy, you sound a bit rough, Murph. I'm grand, Daz Higgy, but we're grand. Bob wishes everyone good luck. Zybok Doc calling from Denmark. Hello from Tipperary. Hope you're keeping well. QC Frank is here. I called it cash grabbing. Yeah, the A330 ain't going to compete with FS24. It's absolutely not. Absolutely not. It sounds like going back to FSX, right? They released an alpha build. Lads, it's an absolute friggin' travesty what they did. What a way to damage the name. And I gotta say, right, the developers, this is my take on the whole situation. I think the developers, they had their plan, they had to kind of start from scratch, they had to do their thing, and they wanted to do a lot more, but someone, somewhere, made a decision to say, you're doing this now. Huh? So someone in Aerosoft, no, you're doing it now, release it now. So I'm thinking there's upper management perhaps in Aerosoft, and you have the developers stuck in the middle, so you have, the upper echelons, the developers, and then you have us. And we're all like, what are you doing? And they're like, ah! And then they go to management, what are you doing? And they go, shut up and release it. Right, something like that. But it's a one-way ticket to damage the reputation of a company who has been around for so long. And they have given us some incredible add-ons over the years. Not to mention they are a very reputable hardware supplier in Europe. This sort of crack, though, is just what the actual name of Jesus are you doing? And no answers, really. You have the devs saying, yeah, listen, we want to fix things, but I think they're caught between the crossfire. I genuinely think that because, well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Jesus. DeLorean, good to see you, my guy. I hope you're well. Welcome in. Do you still have Mr. Tato on your setup? Great bunch of lads is he. But I hope you're keeping well. I was heartbroken when the remake of Dallas was cancelled. They were going to remake that. Were they? Dallas. Let's not go there. Larry says, well, the high-vis vest is a necessity. Indeed, it is. DeLorean has subscribed at tier 1. DeLorean, thank you very, very much indeed. Very kind of you. There's a skill to reading off a teleprompter without looking like you're reading it. DeLorean would know. You're in that industry. You have to inform the people of things and stuff and make it look like you know it. All-knowing, all-knowledgeable. Instead of doing this, hello, you're very welcome to the... That's what I started off like. And every now and again you can see me going, especially when I come across a word I can't pronounce, which is usually all of them. Yeah. You end up squinting at the camera. That's hilarious. But anyway, paparazzi, good to see you. Howdy and happy Tuesday, Fireflies. Indeed. Dragon is here. Welcome aboard. Tub42. Dougal McTavish, the chairman, lurking now. Flight level 360. Jesus. Good to see you, Dougal. Adam says, is it the Ozbot camera? It's the Osmo Pocket 3. Really sophisticated bit of equipment. Haven't a clue how to use it. Kingsman9965, all the way from Liverpool. Alright, good to see you, mate. Come in now. Grab a can of Coke and some chicken nuggets, and we'll go flying. Great to see you. Ascari Wolf. Turkey isn't awesome. The scenery is. Now, let me see. Veterans Lives Matter. You're very welcome in. Is the free pre-order plane the same as the CL-415 you can buy? No. So the 415 you can buy is from your man. I forget his name, Robert Leboire or something like that. Sid says, I saw a video of a bug with the A330. If you change the time of day, the plane's physics go mad. Oh yeah, it goes upside down and everything. Larry says, and didn't Aerosoft get a bunch of money from the German government? I heard that as well, yeah. It makes total sense. I bought the Latin VF4 one. Jesus, you pulled a wheelie on takeoff. Brilliant. Bring back Mathis. That kind of that supports my whole theory that you have developers and then this upper management crowd. Because I imagine Mathis was in the middle and he was probably saying, you want to do what? Hang on a second. Hello, Robert. Yeah, it's Mathis. Yeah. No, listen. Any jobs going? Right. I'm telling you, lads, that's how the world works. It's as simple as that, Didn't they do a dev stream before with one of the owners of Aerosoft? And he was on holidays or something. Was that guy? And he's on his laptop. It was just what are you doing? Wasn't it? I'm nearly certain that was that crowd as well. Terrible.
Hello there.
But anyway, I do have Mr. Tato. Brilliant. That's great, DeLorean. Right, Sun Jammer is here. Welcome in. Now, who's this now? Leaving Sumo. I got burned with the Twin Otter. Wouldn't buy another Aerosoft plane again. Yeah, it's upsetting, isn't it? The Twin Otter is still grand, but it needs a savage update. As does the CRJ. They all need updates. You know what I mean? Like, let's drop an A330 out of nowhere after we said we weren't going to do it until 2024. And meanwhile, the CRJs are shagged. That makes total sense. But anyway, DJ Seamus, good to see you, my guy. Now, lads, we're nearly there, welcoming everyone in. It's a very busy night considering it's Tuesday, isn't it? Jesus. Anyway, who is here? Look, CP6565, welcome in. Nutty Slack is on YouTube. Why Can Yes, welcome aboard. Maddie Lynn is here. Williams Aviation, good to see you. Captain Yorkie, good evening. From Mayo, beat the hokey. David Cleary, welcome in. Bump Foss is here. Jamie Coyle, welcome aboard. He had it up twice. What happened, Jamie? Is there an echo? Wait, what? WB, good to see you again. Spiner is here. Andrew Cully, good evening. Medic24 Live, welcome aboard, man. Bartman is here. Mrs. TPHI17, you're very welcome in. G Bro, hello from South Bend, Indiana. Hello from Tipperary, you're welcome in, man. Iron Knob Airways is here. Mike Carney, welcome in. Murph, any chance your PC specs are anywhere to have a look at? Mike, if you ramble over to Twitch or even just go to twotonemurphy.com, scroll across, it'll show you all my specs. That's where they live. Or even exclamation point specs, I think, in the chat will do it. Do you know? John C is here. Welcome aboard. And Mr. Anderson, glad to see you feeling better. Thank you very much. You look to be in much better shape than some recent softwares of the Aero type. I love it. Flight Sim VR Dad is in the house as well. A very happy Tuesday to you. Right, lads. With the introductions now kind of done and we're brought up to date, well, let us go over here and press some buttons. Where's this one? Oh, yeah. That turns off the light. And this moves us across to this screen here. And there is a Bonanza scraping the ground. So what we're looking at here, so de Havilland Canada, de Havilland Canada Air, the CL-415, these are, they're a fascinating aircraft, right? They're primarily used for fighting fires. And they can do other bits and bobs as well. But this one, as I said, it was a bonus if you were to pre-order Flight Sim 2024. And I was like, wow, that's a huge thing. Brilliant. And I have to say, right, looking at the aircraft, it's one of the best modelled aircraft I've seen in a long time. I mean, the modelling on this thing, it's absolutely friggin' gorgeous, right? It's stunning. Patrick, welcome in. Good to see you, man. So when we look at the externals of it, well, you can see it, right? I mean, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The detailing, the texture work, the model, and even the livery. I mean, they have this thing absolutely bang on, I think. And, you know, it is a 2024 aircraft, default aircraft. And, well, you know, they've made it work in 2020. I mean, look at the details on the tyres. Have you ever... Do you know what these are called? And I kid you not, don't give out to me when I say this. They're called tits. They're called tyre tits. Do you ever know that? Or maybe someone told me that and they were messing with me. But have you ever seen an aircraft tyre have that on it in the sim? Culkin, thank you for the follow. Right. I've never seen it before, so that's the kind of detail we're at. And look at the look at it, lads. Stunning, right? Maddie Lynn says, I pre-ordered 2024. Does that mean I can get it in 2020 for free? Yes, 100%. It looks very good, doesn't it? So anyway, it's not a flying boat. It's an amphibious aircraft, meaning that, well, we can land this thing on water or on a hard surface. And when you're looking at the sheer brilliance of the textures and the modelling, and like the attention to detail, lads, you know what I'm saying? It's riveting. It's riveting. It's done so well. And see these doors here? That's for you know, your water bombing. They open, and they function. They work in it, right? And again, the detail on the landing gear and the tires, even the camber of the landing gear with the tires, everything here is spot on. This is next level with mirror textures. This is next level when it comes to I think it's an Asobo built aircraft, right? I think Asobo built this. But brilliant. In a Box Man is here. Good to see you, man. Them tire tits are called vent spews. No, I think they're called tire tits. Really? I'm almost certain they were called tire tits. Anyway, it's not important. Let's move on quickly. I'm liable to say anything tonight. Is there some way to water drop to a keybind? I'm not sure, Hermit. We'll have a look, though. But look at the details here, and even like look at the style of this airplane. It's designed for short takeoff and landing capabilities, right? And you can look at like the stabilizer and stabilator on the elevator as well. A most unique design, right? And yes, it does suffer from the LOD issue. There's a couple of water bombers over there, and look, they change colour as you get closer to them. They're like those fish you see. Right. So they have an LOD issue there, unfortunately. Now, we can also ramble into the aircraft itself. The reason why I'm infatuated by this aircraft, look at the engines as well, actually, before we head in. Look, the detail, it's absolutely stunning. They've done an incredible job. They really, really have. It's beautiful. So much so, even the friggin' prop liners onto the spinner. Right? Incredible work. Anyway, the reason why I love this airplane is because I'm a huge fan of ice pilots, right? Y'all know ice pilots.
Hang on to your hats, boy.
And they operate these water bombers, but they did an episode whereby they flew 2 water bombers. They flew 2 of these. I need to sneeze. 1 second now. Hang on. No, I think I'm okay. I hope I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I hate when that happens. They flew 2 of these from the Northwest Territories in Canada all the way over to Turkey. And it was an incredible episode. I think they did it over 2 episodes. It was incredible because these aircraft are not built for long haul. Even the ones that Buffalo Airways operated, they didn't have any de-ice or anti-ice capabilities. It was nuts, right? It was nuts. And in the area back here, which you're probably saying, where does all the water go? Well, the water goes into the brown tanks and then they all go underneath. But what they had back here is they had inflatable fuel tanks. And that's how they managed to get the range. So they flew from like Northwest Territories all the way out to St. John's. Then they flew from St. John's out to the Azores. And then the Azores they headed across. It was an incredible thing. I'm almost certain you can pick up those episodes on YouTube. Well worth the watch. And ever since seeing that episode, I said, man, I'm going to do one of these in flight sim. Then we had a 415 release a couple of years back, but it wasn't great. It just wasn't great at all. It looked the part, but it wasn't great. It didn't sound great, and it was just, you know. Then this came out, and I'm like, yes, finally, we can now do the thing with the yoke. Or can we? Now, I'm hoping this aircraft is skin and bone, only because, well, the features, they haven't managed to kind of configure them to, you know, they don't work in flights in 2020. I know for a fact the doors open on this aircraft in flights in 2024. They don't open in this. They flew the radials. Super tight. That's what it was. They flew the radials. If you see any screen tearing as well, let me know. But look, visually, it's incredible. It's absolutely friggin' stunning. And it makes me very excited to the standard we're going to see in 2024. Not just from what Asobo can do, but of course also from the third-party developers. The likes of Inibills, the likes of Got Friends, what these lads are currently working on, what we're going to get to enjoy. And even I have to say, Coronado, who we all know make stunning looking aircraft, but they're going to have huge advantages now because the likes of Working Title, working on their avionics, and now you have the new failure and wear and tear systems. Well, it's going to bring an awful lot of depth, if you like, to some default aircraft. When it comes to Aerosoft, unfortunately, I couldn't tell you. I just couldn't tell you. But that is our chariot for today. We're going to get the thing started up and see how the whole thing is going to behave. Now, the first thing, I'm going to have a little bit of a moan. There's no autopilot. This is a disastrous move. And you can't even override the autopilot. So I didn't think this through. Manual flying. Now, it can be flown manually. We just need to make sure that all our trims are set up correctly. And by trim, well, we need to counteract any sort of P factor and torque that's going to be thrown us to the left. We're going to try and fix all of this. All right. So, welcome to the flight deck. And we have a couple of things here. We have a surface lock, which is quite similar to a gust lock. It's the same thing. Basically, what this does, it launches little latches, for want of a better word, little actuators that actually stop all your flight controls, as in your control surfaces, ailerons, elevator, and rudder. They lock them into place. And they also lock the throttle into place, meaning that you physically can't put enough power into the aircraft because, well, the surface lock or gust lock is activated. And they've modeled that and it works. That's a good start, right? That's a good start. Now, a bit of familiarization before we get going here, just in case you're struggling. Unfortunately, we can't open windows and there's blinds here that we can't mess around with either. But we'll get a little bit of familiarization. So we do have a tiller. I think, I'm not sure if that works. What else do we have down here? A whole load of stuff that doesn't work. There's stuff here for our radar or our flight management system. But again, this doesn't seem to work. I think this is going to be using the default EFB. in 2024. But anyway, on the control yoke, yes, you have your trims, right? There's a button here that says water drop. Remember that button, right? That Firefly 737 livery in the background is lovely. Oh, it is beautiful, beautiful. Kaharia made that one. Isn't it stunning? Between the custom ones we have made and the Alpha livery that that Gibbo made, oh man, the liveries are absolutely gorgeous. Right, moving across. So our main kind of, well, it's not really a six pack. It's all kind of fancy modern stuff. But we do have our altimeter, we have our airspeed indicator, and we have a vertical speed. These are all our trims, so we'll be keeping an eye on where our trims are set, right? What else? We have gust lock, that'll come on with the battery. Our flaps, we have an attitude indicator here. This is like an engine monitor, all right? Moving across, we have our landing gear handle, and then we have like this oral warning. So basically, you don't want the thing, screaming at us when we're over the sea, because it'd be saying, hey, your gear is up. Your gear is up when you're going to land on water, right? That's Gibbo in the 7.3. Come on, Gibbo. Right, what else do we have here? It's pretty much a carbon copy over on the right-hand side, and we do have a little clock, little chrono over here. On the center area, we have a water status display, and these, see these 4 black bars? These are digital. This is a digital representation of what water you have on board, in which you can fill up the tanks and drop them. Now, how this works is, I'll explain it once. There are probes on the bottom of the aircraft that open. Think of these like straws, right? They push down, they're in the down position, and when the aircraft is on water, they start taking in water, right? So the probes need to be down in order to take on water. When the water's in, bring up the probes, and it's held into position. You can then arm the tanks, and then they're activated by hitting the trigger, water, drop. It opens them. That's how it works, right? Or at least in theory. Now, we also have an emergency close the door or an emergency drop. That could happen if the aircraft, for whatever reason, took on too much water or the winds went against it or whatever. Well, you need a way to get rid of it. So that's what that does. I'm unsure if that works. We do have engine fire warning switches. These seem to work, which is always a good kind of state of affairs. Moving on to our overhead, and there's a bit of stuff here, mainly our electrics, right? And we also have our engine startup procedure just on the lower part. So up at the very top, mainly lighting. Instrument lighting, floodlights, all the divil. We have ice and rain protection, which for this aircraft is really handy. Moving down, we have our electrical controls. There is a bug here because the generator on the right side doesn't work, but it does. And then we have our fuel control down here as well. So what we're going to do, lads, we're going to start off with our master battery switch. So we have a couple of switches down here. So we have batteries 1 and 2. I'll bring up the sound so we can hear it. Battery 1 and battery 2. And we're going to cancel the master warning.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, right? So, let's start bringing in some stuff here. So we're going to get some lights turned on. All right, and we kind of work our way down from the top, all right? So, seatbelts, don't need them. Emergency lights, bring them on. Anti-collision lights, nav lights can go on. There are clickable switches here, but they don't work. That's for your anchor and your press fuel on. I don't know what that's for. Landing lights, annunciator test. Annunciator brightness, and then we have our taxi lights and all that jazz. Heaters, they're like your standard probes, think of your pitot heat and so on. Ice and rain protection, so we can activate these, lads, but wait till the engine starts. Basically, you can see the selections that we have for the engine intake. Wipers are here as well. The wipers don't do anything with the rain, at least in Flight Sim 2020. Now, we can also put on our shed buses, left and right. We're going to put our generators to on, but you see that this one here stays off for whatever reason. And we also have the AC inverters. We can bring those boys on board as well. Moving down here further, then we're going to turn on our fuel pumps. So left and right, valves say closed, but let's not worry about that for the moment. And we're going to start the ignition on the right-hand side. We're going to start the right engine first. So before we go any further, we're just going to make sure that we have our prop set. Start and feather, that's where we want them. Cycle the throttle, just make sure all is well. Stick it into ground idle. And we're pretty much good to go from here. So we'll go for an engine start. So we'll be clear prop. And select our switch and hit the start button. Let's see what happens here. Will either be great or not great. Do you know? So we have some sounds. We have some spinach. Look at that engine though. Doesn't it look incredible? It looks incredible, lads. So we've a good start coming up on the engine. Okay, so we got a good start on the right side. We're going to copy this over now to the left side. So same crack again. We're going to go to ignition and we're going to go for a start and select. And let's see what happens here. We have a couple of viewpoints set up here as well. Stunning looking. Absolutely stunning. So same crack again. We're going to wait for the prop to start spinning. There she goes. That's just an incredible sight, isn't it? Isn't it gorgeous? Cyrus says, really hope this is better in 24 in my top 5 aircraft. I got to fly this in 24, Cyrus, and it was very good. It handled differently as well. That's just beautiful looking, isn't it? Okay, so we can see what's happening down here. We have NP, our ITT, and then we have our torque. So let's wait for these guys to get level. One up on top here now. So the starter has disengaged. Ignition systems are on normal. I can't do anything here with the gens. Very strange. Now, it does say the gens are working. Right and left gens are working, and the battery is, well, it's not recharging, but couldn't tell you, right? Now, we'll do a quick stall warning. An angle of attack. Oral warning. We should get oral warning. Okay. Herman something says, I notice in this 2020 version you cannot take off in water. The gears will not raise. Oh. Well, we'll have a look at this because we're going to take on some water here now. Water door caution, push to test. So none of the tests here seem to be working. We have some aircon over here we can mess around with. I'm also going to turn on our probes here. We can see the engine intake. So they're getting in what they need. Heater current, that's all okay. Turn on the heaters and we'll have ice protection when we need it. Taxi lights can come on, and that's kind of it for up here for the moment. Now, next couple of things. We have these switches here, your salvos. These are basically your 4 doors, in which you can open all of them, or open 1 or 2 or 3 of them, right? So if I were to say, look, left-hand side, open the second door. This should open. Well, I might need to arm it. Will this work? No, so we can't do them individually. So if I leave it in salvo, that's all 4 doors, and if I hit the water drop, you'll see these open up underneath. And that's where your water should drop from. Alright? So that's how they work. So in order to close them, we just bring this guy back to standby and then armed. And we're going to make sure then that the probes, when we want to fill up, we're going to put them into the down position. Over here we have all our trims. Put the high pressure on for our hydraulics. What else do we want here now? This is our radio controls. Leave them all alone. Not going to worry too much of those. We will go for a notch of flaps. Flaps coming down. And again, look, it's beautiful animations, look. We'll go full flaps just to show you. It's very, very well done. And sounds great as well. You know? You have to begin your flight on the land first, yeah. Alright, okay, so park and brake will be coming off. Advance our prop. And from here on in, it's only a matter of kind of just, you know, trying to keep a hold of the thing. So we can get the rest of our lights on now, so we're not worrying about them. So we're going to depart here, the runway closest to us. It's very calm wind. It's on live weather, lads. Time of day, I have it set to the evening. It's now 5 o'clock local time. Hey, Jefferson 2001 is here. You absolute mad joke. I've seen a bunch of these based in Malaga. It's great to see you, mate. Hope you're well. So we're approaching the active. Now we have feather switches here for the props as well. Not going to break them just yet. And you do get a sense of weight out of the aircraft. I mean, you do. I mean, it feels heavy. Alright. Now, the first bugbear I have is going to be the sound. Because when we advance the throttle here, there's no change of sound from torque, which is really strange. But anyway, it is what it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to take off. We're going to circle around to the left-hand side. There's a lake. There's a lake just down past us. We might use that to fill her up. We'll see, right? We'll see how we get on. So power coming in. Off the brakes, and let's accelerate. Keeping an eye on that torque. Airspeed is alive already. There's 50 knots. There's 80 knots, we're getting light now. Coming up at 100 knots, about 105 will rotate. Yep, see daisy. Positive rate of climb. Let's bring in the gear. Landing gear coming in. Now we're going to keep our torque in and around 70%. That's all we actually need, because you'll get an overspeeding alert very early on, right? So from here, I'm going to focus on trimming. So I'm going to put in some rudder trim and aileron trim, and that's to counteract any of the roll tendencies that we have to the left. So just try and get ourselves somewhat straightforward. We're relatively trimmed out now. Like, it's not an impossible task, do you know what I mean? There's an outer marker making all sorts of noise. We are airborne. We got people all around us. Looking good. So what we're going to do now, sports fans, well, if you're on the Xbox, press 1. If you're on the PC, press 2. And if you're here wondering whatever is going to happen next, well, friends, you press number 3. Hello, Fireflies. Welcome to the Flying Circus. We live stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Yeah, but it's Tuesday, Murph, at 1900 Zulu time. Right here. All right. 22 on the PC, 3 on console. Nice. Right, lads, what we're going to do here, we're going to see can we take on some water, right? So we're a little bit over speed. That's our overspeed gadget roaring at us. So in order to take on some water, we need to get our probes down. So your probes are here. So probes into the down position. And you can see them here. It says probes are down. So we're going to try and scoop, right? We're going to try and scoop some water. So flaps are down, and we're just going to see what we can do here, and hopefully it doesn't break, because I have a terrible feeling it's going to break, right? So our plan is get down and scoop, and we can monitor how much water is getting on board, because these should start lighting up green, yeah? So watch our power as we come down here nice and low. Now we're getting that warning because I say I'm over land, but now we're just waiting for water to get in there. Easy now. See the green starting to light up? There we go. She's a little bit rough. Easy now, Jemima. Easy now, Jemima. The old water physics now, of course, in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Right, so we're now full look. So power. And upsy daisy, 65 knots. We need a bit more speed than that. There's 75, 85. Remember, we have water on board. This is a lot heavier. There's 90 knots. Let's see, can we get off the ground? Not yet. Make it quick, Murphy. There's 105. Up, you devil, you. All right. Okay, now the characteristics of the aircraft, they're going to behave very differently. Very differently, because, well, we're an awful lot heavier now, yeah? Now, here's the bug I'm getting, and I don't know if this is unique just to me, but the graphics that I'm getting when I'm trying to deploy the water, it could be with the airshow assistant, because I'm just getting a wire mesh frame, which looks absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't know, does anyone else have that, right? But we'll see what happens, right? So remember what I said, if we want to drop some water, let's go back to our probes, get the probes up. Our systems are armed, so we can start deploying water here at a moment's notice, right? Maybe it's SimFX. Oh, maybe it is SimFX. Maybe it is SimFX. Let's see what happens now, So I want to head back this direction roughly. And again, it's time to trim out our aircraft, watching our torque, watching our speed, and then it's a matter of getting our trim set up so we're not climbing too high. The importance, lads, of having like trim controls very close to you. I have them on my joystick, for example. It just makes life easier, you know what I mean? Now, if we had force feedback, you would actually feel the resistance, which would make this so much more easier. But we don't, so it is what it is. So we're kind of all right-ish there, right? So, from this view here, we can open up the tanks and then you'll see the water drop out, right? So that's the plan. So when we try it for the crack, so everything's armed. I'm going to click the water. See the mesh that I'm getting though? Like, it looks ridiculous. You can kind of see the mesh dropping. Now, see how the aircraft reacts to the weight, nose up straight away. So they've got that part done right. See that mesh weirdness down there? So I don't know, is it SimFX causing it? Is it the airshow assistant? I couldn't tell you, right? I couldn't tell you. So is that the same for you? Because if you guys have just launched your water now, are you actually getting the water spray? If you're not, it's an Asobo problem. If you are, it's a Murphy problem, yeah? So we're going to rearm these gadgets. Our water has now emptied out, and it's all about retrim of the aircraft. So it's quite good that the airplane knows, hey, I'm now extremely light, and all the weight has gone out of it, you know? Nothing down here. I got water clouds as DCS. Okay, so it's working. Forder didn't have it when he did the water demo. Water looks good on Xbox. Nice, okay, so yeah, I've got an add-on that's upsetting it. That's okay. Well, at least we know that works, right? And there is, there's a fire add-on. There's a fire add-on that you can get, I think it's like 10 or 15 bucks, and it'll put fire all over the shop. This is ideal for that, right? Briggsy, welcome in, Briggsy. Good to see you, man. He says, do you know why I got this plane for free? I didn't buy it. Wait now. Do you know why I got this plane for free and I didn't buy the new sim? Odd. Briggsy, that's very odd. Very odd. Right, we're going to start our turn here to the right-hand side. Watch her climb here. But effectively, lads, that's how the water bomber works. Right? Now, can you map a button to the water drop? I haven't found one yet. I haven't found one yet because, I mean, depending on where you're flying and, you know, what the fire is, would you drop your everything in the one go?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Do you know what I mean? Hammer Nails, thank you very much indeed, my dude. 21 months. Insane support, Hammer Nails. Thank you very much indeed. But yeah, I mean, the aircraft itself, missing an autopilot is a problem. But it's on the surface, it looks good, sounds relatively okay, and it does have a little bit of function behind it when it comes to differentiating between the weights on board and water dropping and all that sort of jazz. I think this is going to be deadly in Flight Sim 2024. Jesus, hello, Tarnish, you're looking well. So again, this is just a balancing act, trying to get your trim set up, which is easier said than done. But we're going to continue on this heading now. Well, it's going to be a left turn here shortly. And we're heading straight across, friends. We're heading out towards the Adriatic coast. And, well, we'll start learning a little bit about why we're flying here this evening. Gibbo, are you in the 736, is it? Now, we're on live weather. As I said, time of day, it's around 5 o'clock in the evening. It looks superb, doesn't it? I mean, Jesus. And again, look at the state of the model. It looks absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. It really is. It's a beautiful looking aircraft. I've seen these in different places around the world. I guess I've seen them a lot in Rome. It's only a baby. What about mapping it in Air Manager? That could work. Yeah. There's a switch to allow a second automatic drop delay between drops. Okay. Oh, a 2-second automatic drop delay. Or drop delay. Okay. Well, ideally, you don't want to be dropping all your... Like, a full salvo, you don't want to be doing that. You should be able to select... Just give me, you know, door 1 on both sides. You know what I'm saying? If we could do that, it'd be just better. But anyway, let's see how we go here. So I'm just trying to make sure we're fully trimmed here now. And we're kind of trimmed-ish. We'll continue flying this direction. There's multiplayer after turning off. It's a great bunch of lads, the old multiplayer, isn't it? We are a little bit high, but there's plenty of mountains here along the way. We're going to need 10,000 at some stage. So we'll just kind of meander going forward here to see what we can do. Nearest thing to having fun with a rubber duck. Hey, rubber duck. I mean, it looks impressive though, doesn't it? And as I said, like, the modelling on it, it's superb. Like, it's... Oh, they've done a great job of how the thing looks. Now, if we want to have a look at what our trims are doing, elevator's good, rudder and aileron.
Murphy is looking stunning today.
Thank you very much. Who was that? Ah, Mr. Squarely, good to see you, my guy. Hope you're well. The only thing it's missing, as I said, is an autopilot, which is that's an issue, right? So we can turn the owl heading indicator, and we can also change our course. But that's kind of it. She's a little bit hollow after that. Unfortunately. And I cannot get it to follow any sort of autopilot, be it in the sim or outside of the sim. You know what I mean? But we seem to be going kind of, sort of, almost-ish on course. Kind of. So we have a great selection of different aircraft. We've got a DC-3 with floats, look. Nice. So yeah, we'll see how we get on here. Jeez, the heat in here. Right, what was I going to do? Oh, yeah. So, what are we doing here tonight? Well, friends, part 2, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Right? We've departed here out of this place called Denizli Çardak Airport. So we're going to be heading out towards the famous white terraces of a place called Pamukkale, and the ancient city of Hierapolis. Historic region sets the tone for tonight's flight. And, well, you saw the salts and the sand and all that jazz just behind us. Our first stop is going to be at Lima Tango Bravo Victor, all the way out over near the Aegean neck of the woods. So, what is the story behind the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, right? It's also known as the Tomb of... well, how would you pronounce his name? Mausoleum, right? It was built between 353 and 351 BC in Halicarnassus, modern-day Bodrum in Turkey. It was commissioned by Artemisia II to honour her husband, Mausolus, the ruler of Caria. It was a small kingdom within the Persian Empire, right? You often hear of Xerxes and all these sort of lads. Well, your one was well up with Xerxes. And this remained inside the Persian influence, right? Not so much Greek. Their culture was... Jesus. Their culture was more that of Greek, but the area in which they were was very much on the Persian side, right? So it was commissioned by Artemisia II to honour her husband, right? What's the warning here? Master warning. Oil pressure. Right oil pressure. Why did my right engine suddenly die? Don't panic. Why would the right engine suddenly decide to shut down? Oh crap. Are we losing both engines? Oh crap, we're losing both engines. Don't panic! How did we lose the right engine? Are we out of fuel or something? Balls! Don't panic! We'll get over the hump and then figure it out. Jesus, am I out of fuel or something? No, yeah, look, you big muppet. Sweet lamb is suffering, Jesus. Start up that engine quick. It's alright. Nothing that a bit of panic will fix. Shh. Start up there now, Jemima, will you? I also found a bug in this, by the way. Mausoleum. Yeah, what did I say? I also found a bug.
Jesus.
I also found a bug in this, right? As you're trying to fly the devil, it's draining fuel. Why isn't that engine coming online? There we go. How friggin' strange was that? Right, don't panic, lads. All is well. We haven't died yet. No, igniter's good. And we were perfectly trimmed, and now we need to reset everything again. Have a look at the fuel here, because look, I think the thing is draining. They're okay. But if you don't have it full, it does something weird and wonderful completely, you know? Very strange. Anyway, let's continue on. All my trims are shagged. Easy. Mausoleum was your man's name anyway, right? Or Mausoleum. Mausoleum. We go with Mausoleum. Mausoleum had ruled Caria for 24 years, and during that time he transformed the kingdom into a thriving cultural and architectural hub. Mausoleum became Mausoleum's grand tomb and would be later recognised as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. Halicarnassus, the capital of Caria, was strategically located on the southwestern coast of Asia Minor. That's near the Aegean Sea. This region was heavily influenced by Greek culture due to its geographical proximity to Greece. Halicarnassus flourished under Mausoleum's rule, expanding in both territory and wealth, and becoming a major centre for Greek culture despite being part of the Persian Empire, right? So there's all sorts of stuff happening here, right? The key figures behind this, of course, was Mausoleum, and also, get this, his wife, who was also his sister. Yep, that's that right. we don't know why. But that was Artemisia II, both of whom descended from the local Carian dynasty that governed under the Persian Empire. And although Mausoleum ruled under Persian authority, he had a deep admiration for Greek culture, evident by his decision to style his tomb with Greek, Lycian and Egyptian architectural elements. So you might say, well, as he was king, he was the boss, right? As was done by a lot of folks back in these days, when they were still alive, they would design their own tomb, right? I mean, the pharaohs did it. So it's highly likely that the... stop shouting at me. It's highly likely that he designed his tomb and they started building it during his lifetime, which is kind of nuts, right? 42 days, 42. Nice. You appear as a bonanza. It's using fuel as it's flying. That's really strange. You know what I mean? Well, maybe you don't. It's grand. What's your speed here now, Murph? Get that torque back. Just a little bit. Look at the scenery here, by the way. Isn't it gorgeous, right? Stop making noise. Shh, shh. Can I cancel that? No. Fish now. It doesn't like anything over 175, right? Right, we're still kind of okay. We're heading in the right direction. Look at the cloud we're flying into. Jeez, this is going to be lovely. Anyway, we continue on with stuff that you didn't think you knew and thought you didn't need to and realised you didn't have to. Right, where is this now? We're over here, look. So yes, it was his sister wife, both of whom descended from the local Carian dynasty. Okay. Mausoleum extended his territory as far southwest as a place, the coast off Anatolia, notably annexing the nearby region of Lycia, renowned for its monument tombs such as the Nereid monument. The design of the mausoleum at Halicarnassus was directly inspired by the elevated tomb structures found in Lycia. This influence would shape one of the most impressive architectural achievements in the ancient world. 172, yeah, bring the power back again. She really doesn't like getting over 170. So we should be sound now. Just it's all about the trims. Look at that for a view. Isn't that stunning? It's just, look at Flight Sergeant there in the DC-6. Now, there's a machine. Anyway, cancel that, Murph. Mausoleum, although a local Carian dynast, was a satrap under the Persian Empire. This meant that while he had a degree of autonomy in ruling Caria, he was also aligned with the Persian interests. And under Persian authority, Mausoleum expanded his realm significantly, particularly through military campaigns such as the annexation of Lycia. Caria remained a Persian province, but Mausoleum was allowed to govern with great independence due to his loyalty and effective governance. That's important. We'll need to remember that later on, right? Despite his role in the Persian Empire, Mausoleum was heavily influenced by Greek culture. And you can imagine, this is just before the time of Alexander the Great. Just before it. Following the death of Mausoleum in and around 353 BC, Artemisia II, his wife and sister, took control of the kingdom. Known for her military prowess and political skill, she's particularly famous for her bold conquest of Rhodes. So you can imagine, right, being the lady boss. What she did was something kind of mad. She effectively did, you know, the Trojan horse of the navy. She stole a fleet of Rhodesian, would it be Rhodesian? A whole load of navy vessels from Rhodes. She stole them, right? Come on in here. And next thing, she put her own armies into these vessels that belonged to Rhodes, and they set sail for Rhodes. When they got to Rhodes, the locals were like, Jesus, the lads are back. Brilliant. Not knowing that it was full of the Carians from Halicarnassus, and they went in and she took control of the place. That gave her just unbelievable brownie points with the Persians, and it also gave her a massive name within the Greek world, right? So this is all to do with your one, Artemisia. The Rhodinians had attempted to revolt against Artemisia following Mausoleum's death, but it just didn't happen. She only reigned for 2 years after the death of her husband, but her influence on Caria and her efforts to complete the mausoleum ensured that her legacy would endure alongside this. So that's kind of the back and story as to what is happening here. So you had this dude called Mausoleum. He was a king. Ran a dynasty, and these guys were working with the Persians. And he was so effective, so brilliant, if you like, even though he married his sister. He was so brilliant that the Persian Xerxes kind of said, no, listen, you're grand. Listen, you're doing a great job. Just pay us homage every now and again, but, you know, you do what you see fit. And that's what he did, right? And then his wife, she kind of came to power after he died, and she was like, oh, bother, I have to run this entire little empire we have under the watchful eyes of the Persians. And, well, she was able to do it because, well, she went to Rhodes and did the thing, Rhodian, right? She rode the Rhodian. And such a spark of brilliance by using their navy vessels, put her own army into them and set sail back to Rhodes. And they conquered Rhodes. They conquered the whole place. Fascinating stuff. So she was like a woman to be reckoned with, right? And of course, the order then, she wanted to build and finish this temple, this tomb, if you will, for her husband, also her brother, but her husband, because, well, she was mad about him, right? So when it comes to the building itself, when we look at the 7 ancient world wonders, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, well, we don't really think about this one, and yet it was one of the most impressive. You know, the amount of splendor that went into it, its design that went into it, and even how it was built and how long it stood for, more so than nearly everything else of the other ancient world wonders. But we tend not to really think of it, which is kind of interesting. So I'm off course slightly. We need to go right a bit. We'll go right a bit here, look. So that's the back and story. They're Persians living in a Greek world under the Persian kind of authority. But, you know, insert or entry comes Alexander the Great, son of King Philip II, the Macedonian, who had, you know, everything on his side, and he wanted to take over effectively. He wanted to unite all the Greek states under his banner, and also expand the empire. And, you know, this isn't all about Alexander the Great, but just a fascinating dude. Just unbelievably fascinating dude, right? But anyway, let's go to this view outside so we don't need to listen to the Jesus, look at the scenery here, look. So when it came to building it, the building itself, we'll read into it here now. It stood approximately 45 metres tall. It was a massive undertaking that involved some of the finest architects and sculptors of the time. The architects Satrius and also Pythias, I think it's pronounced, were responsible for the overall design, and a team of renowned Greek sculptors, Leocares, Bryaxes, Scopas of Paros, and Timothus, good man Timmy, were commissioned to adorn the four sides of the mausoleum with intricate sculptural reliefs. Each sculpture was assigned a side of the mausoleum to decorate. And here's one for you, right? We'll show you pictures. We'll get down here and we'll have a look at it. But effectively, it had 36 columns going around the top of it. And in between each of those columns, there was a statue. Now, a statue, that would take, a highly skilled sculpture. That would take him about a year to make one statue. So you can just imagine the scale of this. How many sculptures, how much materials, and how long it actually took them to build all of these things. Right? Now, when Artemisia passed away, the missus, she died, her brother took over. Parthius or something, his name, another brother. They're all, do you know what I mean? Very close, you know. But he took over, and during his reign, he made sure that this mausoleum was completed, right? So the building continued, and the design of which, and it's funny, the name Mausoleum, as we know it today, well, this is where the name came from. Effectively, it was a tomb over the ground, right? And it was named after Mausolus. Hence, we have Mausoleum, right? And ever since then, well, not then, but I'll tell you later on, that's where we get the name Mausoleum. It's named after Mausolus. So of all the great he did in the 24 years that he reigned, well, we just remember him that, well, there's a building named after him. We'll always remember him now. And he was married to his sister. Great bunch of lads, the Greeks. Or, in this case, the Persians. But anyway, it's all about the building. It was an imposing structure, standing, as I said, at around 148 feet high. It had a rectangular base with 36 columns surrounding the tomb, giving it somewhat a temple-like appearance. The upper portion was a structure that was a steeped pyramid, with 4-horse chariot on the top, one being that of Artemisia and one being that of Mausolus. They're the two figures at the very, very top of it, right? Don't hit the trees, Murphy. Now, if I'm on auxiliary tanks, how can I change them to, like, the main tanks? Mind the trees there. Jesus, that was close. What if I put the crossfeeds on? They should be on manual, though, shouldn't they? Well, look at the views, lads. Isn't it gorgeous? Flying in Turkey, it's absolutely gorgeous, look.
Good buddy.
Look at this. Hey, Cap Kieran, thank you very much indeed. 37 months. The Janie Mac, thank you very, very much indeed. Oh, look at the canyon up here. Let's go that direction. Anyway, so yeah, it was Mausolus and Artemisia riding a quadriga, a 4-horse chariot. The tomb was adorned with over 400 freestanding sculptures, including depictions of the gods, goddesses, and mythological scenes, such as that of the Amazochian, a battle between the Greeks and the Amazons. I've actually found some of that stuff. The mausoleum was built on a hill overlooking the city of Halicarnassus, symbolising Mausolus' dominance over his kingdom and the surrounding lands. It was more than just a tomb. It was a testament to the wealth, power, and cultural sophistication of Caria, that region, under the rulership, if you like, of Mausolus and Artemisia. Now, in 334 BC, Alexander the Great arrived at Halicarnassus during his conquest of Asia Minor. By this time, the mausoleum was already regarded as one of the most magnificent structures in the world. Right? Now, although Alexander didn't directly interact with the mausoleum, his visit to the city underscored its importance. You see, Alexander was out fighting the Persians, and the Persians, of course, had a massive navy. Alexander didn't have a massive navy, right? So what they did at Halicarnassus, they kind of, boarded themselves in, and they used a very early invention. It was brand new to technology, a catapult, right? And this rained down all sorts of hell on Alexander and the Greeks. But Alexander's plan was he wanted to just put the city under siege and let them starve. But because he didn't have a navy, well, he couldn't put in a blockade. So the Persians were able to resupply. What do you do? But Alexander being Alexander and the gods clearly on his side, well, sure, he went in and he took over the place anyway, right? So that's what happened. His conquest of the Persian Empire further elevated Halicarnassus' reputation as a city that bridged the worlds of Greece and Persia. Halicarnassus, again, being kind of on the Greek peninsula, but heavily influenced by the Persians. And it was Alexander the Great who kind of took it out of there. The mausoleum and its fusion of architectural styles symbolized this cultural blend. The mausoleum at Halicarnassus became one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, as compiled by writers such as Sidon, Philo of Byzantium, which all happened in the 2nd century BC. Basically, lads, how you have this kind of record of world wonders, right? Think of it this way, right? What's the guide to, like, best places to go on holidays? We have modern guides today, right? And like, not like the Hitchhiker's Guide, but do you know the way we have these modern guides of, oh, you must visit this place or you must visit that place. They kind of highlight some of the most beautiful and cultural areas in the world that we travel around the world today, right? Not necessarily Forbes, Guinness Book, maybe, but back then in the 2nd century, because you now had this sort of universal language, the Tobin Spirit Guide. Rad Baron, that's brilliant. Lowly Planet, Squawk, that'd be fairly close to it. Tobin Spirit Guide, I love that. Raise a Cult. But back then, you had this kind of a book, these works that were completed, and it was only through the likes of what Alexander had accomplished. You now have a massive region, all speaking the same language, all relatively understanding of the same culture, the Greek, the Hellenic period, yeah. Well, they did out a list of these important things to see, right? The ancient book of places to visit. Right, that's what it is. So on that list, the 7 wonders, according to that, of the Antipater of Sidon and Philo of Byzantium and so on and so forth, well, the 7 wonders included the Great Pyramid of Giza, the Hanging Gardens of Babylon, in which we're going there next week, the statue of Zeus at Olympia, which we got to visit last week, the Temple of Artemis, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus, the Colossus of Rhodes, and of course the Lighthouse of Alexandria. These were the most magnificent, the best of splendor, the most amazing, architectural wonders that they were highly recommended. Did you visit this place? It's like when we go in the world today, hey, have you seen the Statue of Liberty? Have you ever been up the Eiffel Tower? You know what I'm saying? Did you see the spire in O'Connell Street? This kind of crack, right? But this belonged to the ancient world. It's fascinating stuff. Look at the state of the scenery. So we're going to be rambling into an area now that we're going to have a look at this mausoleum, this tomb over ground or over land, right? I missed the Irish bit. The pop-out GTN works, does it? The pop-out GTN works. If this works, I'm going to be absolutely happy now as a pig in the proverbial. Please hold, caller. Your call is important. If this works, I'm going to be delighted, Cyrus. Jesus, lads, look at the views, though. Isn't this absolutely stunning? What a beautiful area just to go flying in. Services? No. Balls. Utilities? Yes. Autopilot? No. No! It doesn't work, Cyrus. I don't have the option. Why? 5 stars, a knife and a fork, the Michelin Guide. There you go, Kazaki. Why doesn't my autopilot work in this? Does it work in yours and not mine? I hate when that happens. What an absolute, It doesn't want to work. Oh, Jesus. All I wanted was an autopilot. Try the flow up. Yeah, try that as well. Aviate, navigate, communicate, Murph. Don't crash whatever you do. Anyway, we shan't worry too much, lads. We shan't worry. That's wrong button. We shan't worry. We'll get over this hill now. No, get over the hill now, Murph. Bloody hell. I nearly crashed into them. Look at the state of the scenery, though. Right, come back to me here now. Interface. Yes. Disable. Yes. Alright. Look at that, though. And to be honest, Turkey operate the CL-415s and 215s. And we're in heavily forested areas. This is quite realistic, this flight plan we've taken. Murph, Senin Kavan Kava Kok Buak. It's a translation from Turkish meaning, Murph, your melon head is very big. Thank you, B. Carlo. Oh look, someone's... Oh no, it's smoke. I thought someone was dropping water. Look at the cut of this, too. Jesus, lads, that's gorgeous, isn't it? That's okay, Cyrus. I was all excited there for a second. That's absolutely stunning. Right, we'll keep... It's doing all right, lads. Even with our, you know, manual control, right? It's doing all right. You can still use the GPS. Very true. Very, very true. So, yeah, as I said, this is all... Why is that moving down? Stop moving down. There we go. This is all terribly exciting because we're going to actually fly to this location where this mausoleum once stood, right? And there's a couple of notable buildings in the world today that kind of took their... inspiration, if you like, from this mausoleum. Not just the word, do you know? Give up, Murph. He says, I don't know, Murph. You know, there's many a time I think Greek mythology, particularly in philosophy and science, often overemphasizes rationalism and logical deduction at the expense of the empirical observation, which can lead to a disregard for experiential knowledge and a limited understanding of complex phenomena. I scratch my head about this, about how this approach may have hindered advancements in certain fields by prioritising theoretical frameworks over practical experimentation. Gibbo Ireland, your contribution to tonight's stream has been exceptional, for you have raised eyebrows literally all over the world. What a contribution! Give that man an A+. I'm not using ChatGPT, the cheek of you. Although in saying that, I should use it more. Well, I kind of use a little bit of ChatGPT, but you can't tell ChatGPT just to give you information without feeding it information. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it'll give you just factually incorrect information. But like, it's 11,000 words what I have so far on like the 7 wonders. I don't know why I do these things, but like I do these things, you know? It's all coming out now. Wouldn't it be fierce handy if I could? Ah, Jesus, I'm actually skipping all the way down to like balls. Go back up now, go back up. There we go. There we go. Wouldn't it be so handy if you could just do that? Because even if you're following the likes of say Wikipedia, it gets stuff wrong all the time. For instance, I didn't know it would take a sculptor a full year, you know, to carve out a friggin' out of marble. A whole year. Nuts, right? Nuts. Anyway, where's this now? Oh yeah. So we'll learn about what happened to the gadget after we see it in a while, right? Brad Barron says, this particular 415 is registered to the government of Quebec. Was it? Ooh. Lima Tango Bravo Victor. That's our first stop of the night. We're not far from it. We've travelled now about 70 nautical miles already. There's Musefan and a PC-12, look. We're quite high, so we can probably put the nose down a bit. Watch our speed here as well. She ain't gonna like high speed. Look at the views though, lads. Aren't they absolutely insane? Look. It's gorgeous. QC Frank in the T-33. It's just a beautiful looking machine though. But if they can fix a couple of things, or let's just see what it behaves like in 2024. As I said, I flown this in 2024. Didn't find any bother with it, you know? In football, you always have to play in an attractive way. You have to play offensively. It has to be a spectacle. Therefore, we can consider that differential feature of the vision is that, unlike the nihilist idea, it accepts that truth exists. It's all Greek to me. Strap, how are you, man? Jesus, the lads are having discussions about ChatGPT and bots. 'Tis the future, though, isn't it? Like, it's eventually where like everything's going to end up, isn't it? Wait now, have I a button over here that'll turn on that other camera? I thought I had. Have I? So I have that camera. Yes. Can I add an Osmo to this? Hang on now, lads. Hang on now. Add a group. Add a group. No. Add a media source. No. Add. This would be interesting if I could do this. Meanwhile, turning completely off course. In that way a little bit. Let's see here now. It is a... Is it a game capture? No. Hey, we'll go over to this camera for a minute. Ah, how are you? Where's the Osmo? What are you? It's a group. Okay, so it's a group, right? We're overspeeding again. Mother of Jesus, lads. Mother of Jesus. Easy now, Jemima. Easy now. I want to see if you can add a camera. Hang on. It's a scene. Ah, brilliant. It works. Look at that, lads. I mean, science is absolutely nuts tonight, isn't it? We can do all this sort of stuff. Now, I need a button for that. And now. This is what we can do with science, you know what I mean? And then I need a button. Stream Deck XL. And this is going to be... Someone keep an eye on the flying there, will you? OBS. Is it a scene? Source visibility. Jesus, there's a big mountain. We don't want to crash into that. Can we go around this to the right? We can. We can. What happened? I'm pressing buttons. It's a new back in my head. What? Why did you want it to track it? I mean, you barely... Shut up, you! Hang on. We'll figure this out. Title. Osmo. Oh. Scene. X-plane. Source. Osmo. Ah, deadly. Ah, this is brilliant. We're moving all around the shop. If I run over me toe now, lads, it's game over. Ah, brilliant. Balls, I nearly crashed. Right, I'm on up this way. And if I press this button now. Ah, listen, isn't... Ah, brilliant. Huh? Jesus Murphy, that's the fastest you've moved in a long time. Epic Fool, good to see you. That's fantastic, crack. New toys. I've had it for ages. Right? And I wouldn't mind, right? I have another camera over here. Very sad. I have another camera up here. Bloody hell, we're going to crash. If you ran over your toe, that'd be the 5th toe clip. That was proper dangerous. Imagine if I ran over my toe, though. Could you imagine? Is it an AI powered cam? No. Will it track your... Will it track... Will it track you if you go arse over a tea kettle? What are you talking about? That never happened. Like, something like that would happen. We just happen to find ourselves in a big massive canyon. Look, this is fantastic. Osmos, is that Greek? Yes, yes it is. Is it? Actually, it could be. Gibbo, you learned something Greek tonight. Don't worry, there's an ambush coming. Power. There's Olsen over there, look. Just when you thought you were getting away from our friends, the Romans, they're coming. They're coming very soon. Look at the scenery here, lads. Ah, Jesus, isn't that gorgeous, isn't it? Isn't that only stunning? Hang on a second. Some tunage on a Tuesday night, lads. Wait now, can we get a flyby? Mind your ears, lads. Wait for it. Ah, Jesus, brilliant. Right, we're immediately gone the wrong way. Right, don't panic. Where are we going? Oh, we're going this way. Ooh, yes, yes. Wait, shh, it's grand. Turn them off. No, Jesus. Wished everything. How do you... There's no way to shut that up, is there? No, there's no way to twist it. Gone the wrong way. It's totally fine. We're going to be landing up the road here now. Oh, Jesus. Bring that power back. Right. No, my flaps are up. Speed, a bit of speed. There we are now. Jemima, all is well in the realm. There's the Aegean coast out there. Look at the state of that. Ah, this is only brilliant. Absolutely fantastic now, lads, isn't it? Huh? Where would you get it? Chalks, good to see you, man. There's an awful lot of forested area in Turkey. You wouldn't think it, lads, would you? Lima Tango Bravo Victor, our airport for our stop tonight, friends. There's Muse. Muse has the right idea. We need to get down very low. Where's the runway? It's very close, methinks. Oh, bloody hell, it's right there. Right, easy now. How quickly can we slow this machine down? Fairly quick, actually. Muse fan is in Irish Air Corps colours. The absolute legend. Turkey has bears in it. Turkish bears. Do you know what I'd love? Do you know what I'd love now, lads? Where's that camera all the way over there? I'd love an old Turkish delight, so I would. Do you know? A Turkish delight. Fantastic. It's got engine reverses, so pretty quick. Yeah, yeah. You just need to tell me when my camera isn't doing what it should be doing. Even my new camera edition, look. Oh, Jesus, you're going to hit the ground. Ah! Oh, because he was messing with the camera. Balls. Oh, Jesus, we nearly made a proper mess of that. I need to... Oh, Jesus, here we go, look. Straight into it. Gear down. Jesus, what an approach into this place, look. Right, give me all the flaps that you possibly have. There we go. Why are you giving out to me? There we go. What an approach into this place. It's freaking nuts looking, look. Who put an airport here? Easy. LTBV, correct. This is the first stop of the night. I very nearly ran over me toe that time. Jeez, look at the sideways landing by your man in front of me, look. Brilliant. Ah, no, don't give me a stutter and a pause. Come on, Sim, behave yourself. Jesus. Here we go. Right. Oh, Jesus, we're committed. Easy. Easy. Hold the nose. How do I have a landing rate already? Touchdown. Reversers. What's with all the stutters, man? There's me beta. Oh, yes. Yes, friends, that's right. We got a water bomber for DC-6 as well. Fantastic. What's the awesome add-on on the bottom right called? Exclamation point wheel. It's the Rambog Mord. Rambog is controlling tonight, isn't he? Muse, I never knew that. I just see the mods chat there now. Balls, I need to check that. Adam, thanks for your DM. Yeah, I don't think that works though. On my system anyway, but sure, listen. Right, lads. First landing of the night. Check your fuel. Yeah, we're going to be doing the approach into Dalaman shortly. Now, the good news here is, lads, we're more than halfway through the entire flight. So our next stop is actually going to be at the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Then we have a 69 giggity nautical mile ramble over. The approach into Bodrum, it's daylight only. It can cause diversions when the wind is favouring this runway at night. Oh, interesting. Alright, let's ramble over. And we're going to blast off out of here again. Bring the flaps in, and then we'll set them for takeoff. This is a really nice airplane, and you know what? Once you kind of figure out the trims, it's not bad. John, take care of my dude. Cyrus, are you flying with us tonight? You got the same stutter on touchdown. Yeah, dude, we can't have that. Hey, Snapple, good to see you. I'm in Prague on holidays at the moment. What version of the sim do you recommend to buy? I'd say Aviator. That's only if you want all the other aircraft. Do you know what I mean? Muse fan, what version of the PC-12 is that, Muse? Look at the height of this aircraft, though. Look. Simon 20, good to see you. Is it the SWS one? Yeah, SWS, sweet. Man, look at that Duke there beside us. Is that a piston? So I'm eagerly awaiting the arrival of a new Pimax VR headset, the Crystal Light, right? Now I should have it in time for 2024. I might even have it before that. But what I want to be doing with that kind of stuff is, well, I'm going to be, I'll be putting together all my stuff, and that includes a motion rig, right? Now where I'm going to put the motion rig, I don't actually know. Do you know? As you can see, where's this camera again? As you can see, there is a bit of room here for a motion rig. Not an awful lot now, but like, there's a bit. Here's the shelf of many things. So that's where all that's going to live. So, yeah. Could you imagine me in a motion rig? It'd be like this camera the whole time, wouldn't it? Jesus, I'm making myself dizzy doing that. But, yeah, but VR flight sim guy, Steve, lovely guy. He's doing a flight, or maybe he did a flight. He flew from Scotland all the way over to the United States, and he's doing it in VR. I'm thinking of doing something similar. MP Stacks, it's the DOF Reality H3. So look at this big ease. It's in my living room to set up, but I'm waiting on a chair. And controls. I've reached out to some hardware suppliers like, hey, your name here sort of thing. Do you know? They're not very forthcoming. But sure, let's see what happens. You know? You can put casters on, locking on the DOF rig. Yeah, I need to look at that, Hermit. What the model of camera you're using for your back camera? So that, your back camera, that one there is the Osmo Pocket 3. It's from DJI. I've cameras all over the shop, lads. I'm sad, look. Multi-angle friggin' Murphy, look. Like, Sweet Lamb is suffering. Jesus, look at the head in it, look. And they're very sad. But I'll get better. I'll get the layout done a little bit better. Because I want you guys to be able to see the controls that I'm operating and how I'm operating with them. You know. Right, time to fly. So we'll go for 1 notch of flaps. Test pilot, I don't know, man. I'm not aware of any. Like, model matching should be better. And I'm hoping the LOD is going to work a little bit better. But in terms of, like, any sort of, like, oh, wow, look what they did. New features. I don't see them. Alright, oopsie daisy. Alright, lads, it's a very short hop over to our next... Well, if we're in this aircraft, we can land on water. If not, we'll just kind of hang around the area. We're going to check out the Mausoleum, alright? I need to sneeze now. Gesundheit! Bloody hell. I'm back in work tomorrow. That's going to be hilarious. By right, I should be off for a few days, but like, I missed the fan cam. Oh, hang on. I do something like this. There it is up there, look. The fan is on full blast. Full blast. Do you know what I mean? Just for Jefferson. Where am I going? Oh yeah, this way. I need to start, like, I need to stop moving around so fast. The fan is giving us socks up there at the minute. Gibbo, remember you said your fan was going the wrong way? What direction looking up at it was it going? Was it going clockwise or anti-clockwise? Hammer nails, yeah, the brakes on this is nuts. Muse has gone into the trees. Come on, Muse. Was it an Australian fan? Brilliant. Anti-clock for cooling, clockwise for warmth. When it was blowing up, i.e. wrong way, it was clockwise. Wait now. What fucking direction is that going? I'm not going to mess with it now, lads. Knowing my luck, it'll fall down and take the head of me. Do you know? Murph, you should research stuff on YouTube regarding motor cogging. DOF should be selling new rigs with no cog motors. MP Stacks, I'm almost certain they've sent me their latest and greatest. My wife questioned Airfan a few weeks ago, says Hammer Nails. Yeah. Ah, lads, look at this view here. Look at this scenery, the lighting, the whole lot. This is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It's gorgeous. There should be a switch that you can throw or a toggle. Yeah, no, there is. I can see the switch up on top. I won't do it now, though. Knowing my luck, lads. Do you know? Yeah, they sent one out to me. That's why I'm anxious to get the thing up and running. And, well, I haven't been feeling great the last 72 hours. Well, definitely 48. But, I'm going to need a wild Gibbo to come down and help me with it. But I'm not going to tell him he's coming down to help me with it. I'm going to say, hey, Gibbo, you should come down and I'll make you a sandwich or something. You know? And then he'd be like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. Wolf to Fear, good to see you. And then when Gibbo arrives, it'd be a pure case of, come here, so I have these boxes anyway. I don't believe that's really Gibbo. Gibbo doesn't do this historic stuff. That's an imposter. Yeah, the old food for labour trick, right? Ollie, good to see you. Did that coincide with the A330 release? Let's not mention the war. Mad Max, thank you for the follow. Yeah, but I can't invite him down yet because I have the man flu. I mean, like, you know what I mean? I'm not that bad a mate. I'll invite him down so, you know, he has to work. Improve, it really is me with one word, Bambi. Yeah, it's Gibbo, all right. No. Brilliant. Right. We're going to ramble in now to a place called Bodrum. Right? This was Clary back in the day. The home of the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Add beers to the labour. Well, you need to be careful though, because like we'll have a few beers. I just need to make sure the beers start after it's assembled. Okay, so we're gonna venture up the coast to this. Look at the state of this, lads. This is beautiful, isn't it? Watch your speed. Oh, this is a place I want to visit. Look how nice this place is. Jesus, look at this place. This is stunning. What planes would you recommend in 2024 for sightseeing? Sightseeing aircraft? Well, anything with a high wing is great for sightseeing because you can just look out the window. So your usual Cessnas, do you know? Look at this place, lads. Jesus, it's only gorgeous. Okay, power coming out. Laps. And let's see what we can do here, sports fans. Easy. 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 Touchdown! All right. Easy now. That should stop us. You can land on the road near the mausoleum. Oh, nice. Okay. Bodrum. What am I calling it? Bodrum. Okay, can I deploy some sort of an anchor here? No. Easy. Alright, that should do us. I'm still moving forward. I don't want to move forward. Move back, you devil. Move back. Right, there we go. That will move us back. Oh, look at that DC-6 overhead. Look at this. Jesus. Bloody hell. Right. Let us go and inspect this thing. Are we ready? Buttons, Murph, you can do it. Like, here we are in a flight simulator, and I can't kind of emphasize this enough. We're in a flight simulator, lads. And with thanks to Jeppesen, we're able to explore things that have long since passed. Long since passed. The mausoleum itself, this stood for about 1,500 years. Earthquakes, and, you know, it was eventually taken away by the lads on the Crusades. You know, they were building St. Peter's Castle. But, like, isn't it just jaw-dropping to think, you know, we can kind of experience these sort of things. These are long since past. They're gone. You know, the British Museum, I think, has some artifacts from it. But, like, this doesn't exist anymore. And how important it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, grand. The poor old devil Mausolus, he's only going to be remembered forever now because, well, because of this mausoleum. And what Jeppesen has done here, considering there's nothing like this in Flight Sim. There's nothing like this at all. He managed to build the thing looking at reference pictures, artist impressions, and, you know, even Rambert had artist impressions of this place. Like, it's absolutely insane what he's managed to do here. Isn't it just stunning? And the placement for some of these some of these statues. I mean, do you know what I mean? Right? It's, well, you know, you had to cover it some which way. I mean, we're family friendly, right? Ah, Jesus. Don't anyone go looking underneath that logo. There's something wrong with you if you do, right? It's amazing, isn't it? The man's a legend. Yeah, Murph, here you go. I've made that for you now. Ah, Jesus, thanks. And then I saw this and I was like, ah, for crying out loud. Isn't it brilliant? Right? So that was, you know, Murphonius. Right? No one go look at his little firefly. Right? He's a well-crafted arse as well, to be fair. That's me, by the way. Jepson had to model me there for the few weeks, lads, you know. I'm just saying, like, it's picture perfect. But look at this, look, right? I mean, this is the sort of, look at the detail. You know what I'm saying? This is a flight sim, like. It's a flight sim. It's nuts. It's nuts is what it is. New merchandise. Two-tone white fronts. I think they'd make an absolute friggin' fortune. Jesus, careful where you put the camera. Wouldn't they? I mean, the face in them, look. Yes! It's me! Well, it's not really. It's an old flight sim. It's demonetized. Yeah. But isn't it class, though? Isn't it absolute? Like, look at the detail we have here. Like, look, lads. It's absolutely incredible the detail Jep has gone to. And you have the pyramid on top. Right? And there's Mausoleum and Artemisa. Artemisa? She's up on top. I mean, she's beside him. Oh, Christ. Isn't it brilliant? The detail is just staggering, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus, she didn't have a great head for heights. There I am again, look. Jesus. But look at the detail. Isn't it stunning, lads, isn't it? It's absolutely incredible. The Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Just incredible work. And like, when you look at this building, right, if you were to look at, like, you know, what other buildings kind of took their inspiration from this one? Well, this is where it gets terribly interesting, right? I'll show you now, look. So some of the buildings that took their inspiration from here. The Civil Courts building in Missouri. Did you know? Right? The Shrine of Remembrance in Melbourne. Right? That inspired the architects to do this kind of stuff. You also have the Masonic House of Temple of the Scottish Rite in Washington, D.C. Isn't that mad, lads? It's done on the same layout. They used the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus as the inspiration for this. Which is just, it's absolutely incredible. The Indiana War Memorial Building in Indianapolis. Same crack again, look. Isn't it just fascinating? So you can see that, you know, the amount of modern buildings, well, they're not modern, they're old. But this one here, actually, it's the Gumas Kenzen. It's in Milas. But this was seemingly like a replica built of the same one. Right? And here's the really, really, really interesting thing, right? Bodrum Castle, or Bodrum, right? What happened here, the Knights of St. John of Rhodes invaded the region and they built this castle, Castle of St. Peter, right? The Castle of St. Peter, this is all during the Crusades. Because as I said, the Temple of Halicarnassus, well, it stood for about 1500 years. And between earthquakes and the devil knows what. And then when these lads came along, they said, you know, we need to build a castle. Because when Constantinople fell, it was only these lads kind of left. And they actually took away whatever was left of the mausoleum. Statues, bricks, mortar, everything. And it all went into building this castle right here, which still stands to this day. So they used part of the mausoleum to build this castle. I found that very interesting. And I suppose, you know, when we think about it, some of the things that were found, well, I've notes on it here, look. The Alhambra, I've never been, I must go there. I'd love to go to the Alhambra. So the mausoleum in Halicarnassus stood intact for more than 1500 years, surviving natural disasters and, of course, political upheavals, right? Right, look at the state of it. That's a flight sim, lads. And all the buildings Jeff did all the way around. It's just incredible, right? It's incredible. Surviving disasters and political upheavals. However, a series of earthquakes between the 12th and 15th centuries gradually destroyed the structure. By the time the Knights of St. John arrived in the region in the early 15th century, much of the mausoleum had collapsed. The Knights of St. John built Bodrum, or Bodrum Castle, also known as St. Peter's Castle, using many of the stones from the ruins of the mausoleum. In addition to using the stones for construction, they also incorporated some of the mausoleum's sculptures into the castle walls. The Knights took advantage of the fact that the mausoleum's material were still in excellent condition and repurposed them for their own fortifications. Many of the mausoleum's sculptures were removed and placed in the castle, where they remained for several centuries. Some of the sculptures, along with marble slabs from the mausoleum, can still be seen in the castle to this day. In the 19th century, British archaeologist Charles Thomas Newton conducted excavations on the site of the mausoleum. Newton's work uncovered many of the sculptural fragments and sections of the mausoleum, including the statue of Mausolus and Artemisia, Artemisa, that once crowned the tomb. The sculptures, along with other fragments from the site, were transported to the British Museum, where they remain on display to this day. In more recent times, continued excavations at the site has revealed more insights into the layout of the mausoleum and the surrounding structures. The foundations of the mausoleum, as well as several architectural elements, are still visible at the site. Although much of the mausoleum has been lost to time, its influence endures its modern architecture, and the legacy remains the grandeur of what was the ancient city of Carrion and Halicarnassus. It wasn't just a tomb, it was that a symbol power of wealth, of cultural fusion, built by Artemisia II to honour her husband, Mausolus. And his name, Mausoleum, well, it was adapted by our good friends, the Romans. The Romans saw this and they were like, do you know what? Damn good building, I say. So the Romans incorporated mausoleums. Every famous Roman, every major emperor, they were given a mausoleum, right? And that's where it all comes from. Isn't that fascinating? Like, it's fascinating. That's where we get the word mausoleum. It was named after this. And I'm sure you've all heard that word before, mausoleum. Yeah, it was named after this fella. And if you can't remember anything, just remember that's the place where there's a statue of a fella with a logo covering his unmentionables. Right? I mean, it's now locked in time forever. Just Tony, good to see you. Go inside. Oh, hang on. Oh, Jesus, he has them in there, look. Ah, Jepson, I didn't even know you did that. That's incredible. So there is Mausolus, and there's his missus. And these are actually based on the real world sculptures. Jepson, I didn't even know you did that, man. Bloody hell. That's incredible. Them two statues, they're actually in the British Museum to this day. Isn't that mad? Jepson, I don't know how you do it, man. Like, honest to Jesus. He's some man, lads, isn't he? Go in the door, you idiot. Ah, Jesus, Murphy. Hang on. There we go. That's absolutely mad. Lads, can we get the Jeppesen emotes into the chat, please? Because the man is a master. And can I just remind you, this is all being made for free. The scenery pack is available, exclamation point scenery, that's where you can grab it. It's absolutely incredible. And yeah, the history, I mean, you're not taught a lot of this stuff at school, or maybe you are, I don't know, I wasn't. And it's fascinating. It really is fascinating. So, you know, the mausoleum was built when, you know, this lad was still in power. Then he died, and then his sister, also his wife, that's not odd at all, she took over. And she was a right bit of stuff in her own way as well, as I said, taking over roads. Do you know what I mean? Roads, the island now, not the main road. It's so very well done. And like all these custom buildings as well, he's thrown in all of this stuff, look. Just to give the place a bit of a, oh Jesus, you know what I mean? Isn't it very well done? It's absolutely brilliant. It's done so well, like it really is. The man's a genius. One of the amphitheaters, look. Like, Jeppesen built a friggin' amphitheater. Look at this. Isn't it absolutely insane, lads, isn't it? Sterling, yeah, it could be. It's free, it's flight sim. This is, like, it's nuts. It's wild. This is a flight simulator, like. It's absolutely incredible. It really, really is. And Jeppesen has done, lads, like, that's just, it's incredible the detail he's gone into. It's absolutely nuts. And like, there's, you know, there's ruins here in the real world location. It's just like, it's a big open space. A couple of trees and whatnot, but there you have it there, look. It's just incredible. I sort of wish they'd kind of rebuild these wonders, you know, or like a hologram or something. Wouldn't that be awesome if they could do that? Jeppesen, very, very well done, mate. Absolutely incredible stuff. Right, we'll bring the time of day back a little bit. And we're going to continue on now. The remainder of our flight, lads, is going to take us down to Dalaman. We have a 70-mile hike. Okay, my plane ended up in a bit of a spot here, so let's fix that. Right. Now, hopefully we can get out of here, right? The SDK for tomorrow is cancelled. Oh, really? Okay. Right, let's see what happens here. Can we actually take off? The power? This is where the aircraft gets a little bit kind of funny. Why are we going hard that way? Oh dear. Fuel. Oh yeah, check fuel. Come on, Super Thai. Oh, okay, fuel. Right. We're on the way. Up you devil you. Speed live. Look at this. Can I just say the water effects we're going to have in 2024, they're going to be incredible. All right. Swiss Tony, you serious? Jesus. Right, get ourselves turned into position. That's a nice hike down to Dalaman. As I said, about 70 miles, but we'll keep her lit. Get our trims trimmed. Alrighty then. Keep turning left. Ah, look at the islands around here as well. Isn't it gorgeous? It's just stunning, lads. I wonder why they cancelled the SDK tomorrow. That's interesting. Alright, easy does it. We want a heading of about 101 degrees. 101. Don't forget, guys, if you do like this sort of content, do be sure to hit the old like button. It helps the channel an awful lot. An awful lot. And as always, guys, the support you lads give, it's absolutely spectacular. Thank you all so very, very much. Someone gave them man flu at the Phoenix event, right? Like, this is not our usual night to stream Flight Sim, so I really do appreciate you guys joining me this evening. We're back now tomorrow night. We have the news tomorrow night. And we're checking out... We've got some aircraft to check out. What else do we have? I have a bit of stuff. I think we have Brian from Say Intentions on for the chat. Larry, good to see you. There's a hole in the ground in ancient rubble. Really? Right, we're kind of on course now, so... Boot it across. Is my rudder trim off? No. Is it the wind? Could be the wind. That's kind of strange, isn't it? I wouldn't mind a 5-day-a-week stream, QC Frank. Someday. I would absolutely love for nothing more than be able to do this gig full-time, lads. But unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, the reality is we all have kind of responsibilities and stuff in life. And, well, you need the 95 to pay the bills. Larry, yeah, it's cool, isn't it? It's gas, right? I've never... Really now, I've never been, Oh, yeah. Oh, grand, okay. I've never been kind of, into... Oh, Jesus. Jesus, I haven't a clue. You asked me for a name and password. Try either this one. Hang on now. It's a combination of all of that. Give it a blast.
Hello there.
The young fella coming in looking for, like, what's your password to this? What's your password for that? I don't know. But yeah, flight simming, right? I never thought I'd be this enthusiastic and motivated by flight sim. Even, you know, we're into our 5th year doing this, and like I still want more. Like it's mad. Like it's absolutely mad. What's going up with our speed here and like the plane? What are the trims saying?
That's a big 10-4, good buddy.
Most unusual, isn't it? Ah, Rambog, good to see you. Rambog, were you doing some controlling tonight? 24 months, dude. Cheers. Any news regarding the iFly Max? No. They priced it at $69.95 though. Delightful, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, man. We're a little bit off course here, but sure, we'll ramble in. It must be the wind, is it? Is it windy out here? No. The aircraft physics are a little bit goosed at the minute. It's like we're going sideways. It's as if... most unusual, isn't it? Rambog, that was 24 months. I just saw Cyrus put that up. 2 years, man. Jesus. Wasn't life an awful lot simpler 2 years and a day ago? Right? Thank you very, very much indeed. Murph, I remember when one of the X-Plane versions released of this plane. Is there one of these in X-Plane? Is there? Thank you very much, Delightful. Didn't even notice time really flies, right? That's nuts. Have you got another device connected, Murph, where you could be pressing like an analog stick or something? No, no. I don't think so. No idea what's happening. But sure, listen. It'll be grand. We're heading across the Adriatic until we get down to, well, Dalaman. It's going to be gorgeous. What did we say the approach was? Runway 19er, was it? Okay, so we want to kind of come in over the city, so, alright. It'll be grand. Rambok, how did your controlling go tonight? That's gas, so like, in 2 years, you know, Rambog helped us out with our own ATC stuff, and then he got the bug. So much so that he went off and he started learning how to do ATC, passed his exams, and now he's a Vastum controller. Isn't that mad? I love that. I absolutely love that. Because like with this beautiful hobby, this wonderful hobby of flight simulation, it's all aviation. I mean, it really does have stuff for everyone. Be it the, you know, general aviation flying, the airliner stuff, ATC, planning flights, scenery design, aircraft design, do you know what I mean? Liveries, building missions. It's incredible. And this is only going to get better. Everything is going to get better. Hopefully on the release day of 2024, but even if it's a little bit shaky, we know what's going to happen. Like 6 months from now, you know, how much more stuff we're going to be able to do in the sim. You know what I mean? It's incredible. It was quite calm. Everyone came in at the beginning and it was quiet. Slow night. Barely any ATC in Sweden. We're close to Antium. August versus Mark Anthony. Yes. Or Augustus versus Mark Anthony. Yes. QC Frank, we are. It's not far at all from here. It's behind us, I think. Just put a link on Discord to the 2024 Tech Alpha sign up. Yeah. Just be very careful signing up to stuff like that, lads. Because you need to be active in it, but you're basically there to figure out bugs and what's not good. That's your mission. You know, you might be saying, Jason, this is great. We get to have the sim early. Not always the case. Not always the case. Gibbo, you're a terrible man. Did it for 2024 or 2020? Yeah. Hey, Tiger Shark, good to see you. Where's that link? So, Discord, by the way, lads, if you don't know what Discord is, this is where we all hang out when we're not on a live stream, yeah? ! Discord. That's where it is. Where did you put the link? It's in here. Tech Alpha sign up. Thank you, test pilot. Where do you sign up for it though? Oh yeah. Anyway, that's a Discord, so do be sure to check it all out. Why is my plane going this mad direction? So I was an alpha tester for 2020, and you'd be busy doing it. Jesus. Right, I'll do all that now in a few moments. Easy now. Plane is like... I don't know what the plane is doing. Jeez, we had a fairly well trimmed out earlier, but now she's like purely messing. Fix the rudder trim. Right, that looks a bit better. That's a bit better. Look at that view though, look. Okie dokie. Man alive, this is gorgeous. Right, we got about 40 miles to go, give or take. The yeah, with the Tech Alpha coming, as I said, like it's fun, whatever. You get your hands on the sim early, but they'll have a lot of features turned off, and prepare for things to break all the time. Because I remember that's the way it was with 2020. And like, you're under NDA as well, so you got to be very careful. And they'll give you different builds. Yeah, you've seen it before. Like it's kind of like beta, but this is alpha, you know. Although in saying that, a beta this late in the day, considering they're releasing it in November, it's really it's not an alpha, it's a beta, you know. What is going on with this trimming? I'm just trying to get the machine to trim and behave itself. Right, so keep the aileron. Let's see if we can do the aileron, right? Yes. Okay, that's a lot better. Right, you got username plastered all over the screen. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it doesn't like tailwind at all, yeah. Like, to be fair, right, flying this thing now, it's not bad. I just wish they had an autopilot. You know what I mean? An autopilot on this and should be like instantly better. Instantly better. So I think I asked this before, lads, but when Flight Sim 2024 comes out, what's going to be the first aircraft you fly? Is it going to be, you know, your existing 2020 aircraft, or are you going to go with something that's brand new in the sim? Like, what's the one aircraft, looking at the new aircraft releases, that you're going to jump on and say, yeah, I'm going to fly that. That is my first flight. That is the first aircraft I'm going to fly on release day of Flight Sim 2024. Mr. Skill is going to go with the Sky Courier. Ooh. Something small, says Hermit. Probably this. Cessna 152. A400, says Pad. We got lots of options. I mean, we got so many options. Wet says, I grew up next to Canadair Air watching these demonstrations of pilots doing loops with a CL-215. What? Really? A balloon? Why are they taking the balloon? The Albatross? What dog? The Albatross looks nice, doesn't it? Vacuum says PC or Cessna 172. CP taking the PC-24. Lior taking the Inibill's A330. Yes. Probably a heli just to see what the scenery is like, says Muse. Yeah. Something new might catch my eye, but mostly something like a PA-28. The Ryan Navion. Yes. Mac Loop with a Tornado, most likely. A400. A lot of people want to fly the A400. Yeah, like the map, the Mac Loop. It's actually done as an activity. It's a course that you can just fly, which is awesome. Now, it's probably going to be better in free flight, right? But it's there to learn it. You know.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus. The A400 looks really cool. Not sure it'll be first, but it should be up there. Yeah. But like, that's the thing, right? I'm off work that entire week. So the world and his mother is going to be streaming Flight Sim 2024, right? They just will. I'll be streaming it every day, all day and night. And the only time I'll be taking a break is literally to sleep. And then I'll get back up the next day or that night and do it again. We did that with 2020, right? So yeah, there'll be lots of content that week. But the idea is jump in, start learning the aircraft, start learning the new settings, and see what kind of hints and tips we can kind of get done and dusted early on. So yeah, like if you have the opportunity, just like clear your week schedule. No bathroom breaks. Wear a nappy. Hope streamers remember to show how to operate the sim and just flying. Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, I want to spend a bit of time going through the menus, finding the nuances, getting the performance, if you like, or getting some of the efficiencies. You know what I mean? And we'll do that with flying as well, and figuring out the career mode and all that stuff, lads. All that stuff. I've booked Vegas for the 19th of November. Ah, Jesus. Adam, you timed that well. I've prepared a chamber pod under my chair. Is there going to be an A350? Yeah. I'm not sure it's that on release though, but they're working on one. I need to cancel work meetings. 48-hour streams. Well, I don't know when we do 48 hours, but like, I'm planning to stream every day. I've no schedule. Like, this series will end the Monday before the release week. Yeah? That's why we're doing it tonight and I didn't bump it out to next week. Because Monday the 18th, if I don't already have access to the sim, that night we'll spend getting our sims and getting everything ready for 2024. Right? That'll be going down through our folders, updating Windows if you need to, getting file structures in place. We'll go through all of that the day before the sim is released. If I don't already have the sim. If I have the sim, it'll be the sim. You know. But again, like, it's not going to mean that we're going to be uninstalling Flight Sim 2020 either. We're going to weigh one up against the other and see what happens. I also got a full week off and some days before and after. Nice. I'll be in the Netherlands when 24 releases. I might be going to the Netherlands that week as well, actually. I need to see. I'm very... like, the week is just going to be busy, lads. But I'll be there. We'll be streaming every single day. And it'll be checking out what's new.
There.
How do we do stuff? Let me see. Peel Paul, thank you for the follow. It'll be going through the menus. It'll be reassigning different keys and buttons. Any shortcuts we can find. You know. Wonder if we should partition SSDs for both sims. I wouldn't, Dougal. I wouldn't bother. Like, I just pop it in and see what happens. It has its own folder structure. It has its own community folder. Like, what I'd be doing is, if you're going to have both sims on the one drive, which you absolutely can, I wouldn't think you need to partition it. It's not gonna... it shouldn't take up that much space. 50 gig install, and I think some of that includes a rolling cache, and then give it another 30 gig cache. That's my recommendation from now. Give 2024 30 gigs of rolling cache. So whatever space you have in your hard drive, if you're thinking you just have 50 gigs, add 30 to it. You'll want a footprint of about 80 gigs. And that does not include all your add-ons. You know? I reckon MSFS add-ons linker will be able to handle it. It may not on release, but it will definitely in time. Yes. Man alive, look at this for scenery. Jesus. Like the add-ons linker, an awful lot of people don't use it. I highly recommend it. I can't function without add-ons linker. I really can't, right? And there's even more things I didn't know it can do. For instance, if you open up like the world map to show you where all your scenery is, right? Watch your speed there, Murph. When you open up your world map and it'll show you all your scenery. Now this is only looking at the scenery that I have installed, right? I didn't know you can do something like this. So say for example, you were going to fly this area here. Well, you can say, draw a polygon shape, right? See that box, right? And what this does, MSFS, or your add-ons map, add-ons linker, when you draw that, it will activate everything inside that area based on what you have saved on your hard drive. That's so handy. So if you already know, well, we're going to fly from here to there, yeah? You can use this function in your map, point it at all your scenery, and then when you draw the polygon, this shape, and this shape can be any old shape, right? This could be any old shape. Let's say, you know, let's say you're flying up in, I don't know. You're flying in Canada. You're going to go from here to there, and just give yourself that kind of bit of a corridor. When you have that drawn, it will only load the add-ons that are running in here, and not anything else. This is a super program. And I really think this is going to be used. No, it's all free, Bill. It's all free. Add-ons linker is free. Like all the add-ons that I have, like you can imagine, right? I have a ridiculous amount of add-ons. So my flight sim stuff. So I have an NVMe here. I have a hard drive. I have a 10 terabyte hard drive there. And then I have my brand new NVMe. That's where Flight Sim 2024 is going to live. This one, I have my Flight Sim files. This is what add-on linker looks at. Aircraft, avatars, liveries, plugins, scenery, and, you know, stream only. That's only what I'm streaming. Like the likes of the Ancient Wonders, that's all the scenery I'm using for the Ancient Wonders. That's how I break everything down, right? Mind the mountains, Murph. Then you have your standard community folder and official stuff, right? Then if I go back one, and I go to my standard hard drive, I go into all my Flight Sim stuff. This is everything I have for Microsoft Flight Simulator, right? And, well, there's a lot. Aircraft, scenery, but like there's terabytes of stuff in this. Terabytes, do you know? What about GSX add-on linker? GSX add-on linker? Don't know what that one is. Does GSX have its own add-on linker? So, I have a video on YouTube talking a little bit about add-on linker and what it can do. And it's basically, it's to get better performance, it's to get better loading times in your sim. So, just have a look at the YouTube channel and just search on my channel for faster loading times. The thumbnail is an F14. Why? I don't know. It just looks cool. And a bit of a clock thing. Have a look at that, because I use that on linker in that video. And that made a massive difference on my loading times. Massive. Yeah, Mr. Anderson. Yeah, there's so much that that program can do. Look at the views here, though. Jesus. This is gorgeous. I think add-on linker for the sim. Ah, look at that. Look at this. Hang on, that's gorgeous. We need some tunage for this one. Yes! So what I do with GSX is I just unlink it when I'm not using it, rather than having it installed the whole time, because GSX doesn't play terribly nice with GA stuff. Depends. So in the GSX gadget, you can just unlink it. It doesn't remove it, it just unlinks it. Nights have spent 2 holidays down on that beach. Nice. No, Jake, you don't need to do that. So when it comes to GSX, right? Where have I got this living? So GSX in here. When you open the divel up, okay, it's doing a live update. Okay, it won't show me. Inside its own menu, it gives you an option of being able to unlink it directly from its own program. You don't need to worry about putting your GSX in the add-on linker. In fact, I would advise against it, because FSDG doesn't like things being moved around. It deactivates them all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I would just leave it in its own base program. So I would. Look at this for an approach. This is gorgeous. Man alive, I've been blown away by the scenery tonight. I did not think it was going to be this pretty. What a stunning part of the world to go flying in. And this is live weather as well. Granted, the time of day, it's nighttime there now, but like, Jesus lads, this is absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. Delighted with our flight plan for this evening. And all our flight plans, they're all over on Discord, so if you ever want to fly these again, just download them. You know, use different aircraft if you like, or even look at our departure and arrivals and just maybe do airliners or choppers or whatever. So there's our runway over there. This is from Simulations, Dalaman. Skies are completely clear for me. I'm on live weather too. Oh, Jesus, Muse. Right now, am I on live weather? I could be absolutely like... No. Never mind, Muse. Mine is off, it's on a few clouds. How did that even happen? Shh, say nothing. Muse, there's nothing wrong with your machine. This is just a few... Why am I getting kind of serious clouds on a few clouds though? That doesn't make sense, does it? The ILS approach goes through the mountain valleys. Nice. The scenery is better the further east you go. Absolutely. Right. We shall turn right, yeah? Okay. Power coming back. Overland. There's our runway. Hold this nose up. Speed dropping. Let's check this landing gear. Oh, yes. That's pretty. That's very pretty. Bit of Toby Eye here to help us out. There's a runway. Let's get some flaps into the equation. Alright. Man alive, look at this location. This is stunning. My dad's flown into Dalaman. He said the approach was absolutely incredible.
Dreamy, sleepy, nighty, snoozy, snooze.
Ah, jeez. Colonel Fork, you scared the crap out of me. And I'm not well. Hope you're well, my dude. I was lurking during your flight the other night. It was on late, but I was there. Awesome flight, man. Awesome flight. He must have had stew. He's already sounding alive. Everyone said I didn't have stew. I hate stew. Full flaps. Right. Gentle landing is required. Easy now. Easy. Easy. The gear is quite tall on this plane as well, so you got to be very careful. Okay, approach is looking good. Speed is looking good. Let's just edge our way in all together. Easy. Easy. Start to idle. Hold the nose. Bleed the speed. Touchdown. Easy. Easy. Reversers. How about it? Welcome to Dalaman. Beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Drive it on a little bit. It was a really nice flight tonight, wasn't it? And okay, the plane isn't great. Like, it's not excellent. It looks phenomenal. But it still did it. I mean, it got us where we needed to go, right? Once you kind of get the trim sorted, you're alright. Dad Game Time says, best airport for this plane is in Idaho Mountains. Ooh, nice. I'll have to check that one out, dude. Joe Jones, welcome in. No, man, this is Flight Sim 2020. Alrighty. Let's have a now look at everyone parking up. Something like that will do, will it? Yeah, something like that. Let's go with that. Right, friends. Let us play some music as we check out the aircraft all here. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The choice of aircraft that flew with us tonight, absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Mooney Typhoons and everything. Utilizing the newest and greatest technology, yes, we have floating planes. Yeah, it's if they don't have the custom scenery, they float. But listen, it's grand. We'll say nothing to no one. All the planes. Boston Elf, good to see you, man. Hope you're well. Absolutely gorgeous. Why isn't that playing? Really? That sound is not playing? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. We'll fix that. We'll fix it. Jesus, where does this go? Does it go to music? Bloody hell! Oh, that didn't work. That's the wrong one. And we'll find it now in a second. It goes into here, I think. No, that was very loud. Ah, balls! What's the one I use for this? Hang on a second. Don't panic now. Jesus. You go to where? Output default. Output needs to go to default. Right, we'll try it again. Ah, there we are, friends. Now it's working. Jesus. Every time I change settings, the whole thing goes nuts. Do you know what I mean? Lads, I want to thank you also very, very much indeed for joining me tonight. We don't belong on a Tuesday. I wasn't terribly well yesterday. So getting to do this flight with you guys tonight, it's been something special. And again, massive thanks to Jefferson for creating just all this iconic scenery we get to explore. And I will be back tomorrow night. We'll be checking out the news, right? In about 21 hours time. And yeah, I think we have Brian from Say Intentions on. Looking forward to that. So thank you also very, very much indeed for everyone who flew along with us. Exceptional flying as always. Everyone here in the chat, both on Twitch and on YouTube, thank you also very much indeed. I still have me mad camera look. Is it working now, I wonder? Oh, it is, look. What you can do with technology. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll have to get creative with that camera for sure, and we'll see what happens, right? So right, that's the story. I'm away now to lie down on the Lemsip and probably a hot whiskey. But thank you also very, very much indeed. We shall see you tomorrow, lads. Have a good night. just before we go, just never forget the logo on your man with the statue. I mean, get a good hard mental image of that now, lads, as you go away there now to enjoy your, like, do you know, he's wearing nothing but a logo. Jesus. That is beautiful. Look at it. Look at the state of it. Oh, Matty loads are coming in. Uh-oh. And he made it. He absolutely made it. Look at the state of that. Uh-oh. Keep her straight. Keep her straight. Nicely done, man.
Okay, 50.
I'm at 50.
60.
No, I'm not at 60.
70 knots.
60.
80, 90. Come on.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
There's
oh dear.
100.
There's
There's
80.
100.
There's
There's
80.
100.
There's 80.
Oh,
You took off. 80. 80.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I'm only at 80.
Bouncy.
I'm only at 80. Hit the brakes. Stop.
Stop.
Ah, no, it's gone all
no.
pear-shaped. Ah, Jesus.
That was a terrible choice.